This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code SOUTHGATE to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at
I
all.
hear
This
static.
is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Does anybody hear me?
Can you hear us, Tyler Patrick?
I can read Phil's lips.
You can't hear me?
Okay.
Wait, I heard something.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
What was
Do
that?
you hear what I hear?
Charlie!
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Said the night wind to Tyler Patrick.
We're trying to view a Shazam review. We're trying to get Tyler online.
Yes. But does anything start now, Phil?
Well.
Recording has started.
Episode 99, and we still don't have it right, huh?
That's the charm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear Lilith.
Can you hear
Okay.
me? Oh, no. Anyway.
Philip, cue the music.
I am. Capes and Lunatics, episode 99. Maybe we'll get it right for 100. Starts right now.
Wait, when did Charlie turn into me? I don't know how I feel about this.
What?
Well, you know.
Charlie has turned into me. Play the damn music, Phil.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel a beautiful black
welcome to
woman.
the Capes and Lunatics, our big Shazam review. It's the normal gang, because I couldn't get anybody else to join us.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can all hear you.
I am Phil. That is Charlie. Yes, sir. That's Lilith. I know it's hard to tell the difference between them.
I'm a professor.
Lilith is a professional drinker, right?
Yes.
And an amateur villain.
And the man who hears nothing.
All right. Well, I'm
I
going
mean,
to try to figure something out here.
there's
Our
no.
own Sergeant Schultz. Jonathan Taylor Patrick.
Ah!
Yes. Okay.
But Lilith, there's no room for you in the DC villain universe because they only use John Glover and Mark Strong.
Yes. Well, you know what? What was Mark Strong also a villain in?
Sinestro. He was Sinestro in that Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
That never happened. What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. Deadpool went back and wiped that timeline. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
yes.
What is this Green Lantern you speak of? Who is this Ryan Reynolds you speak of?
As John
Fantastic
Stewart
bone
said,
structure.
there was even a Green Lantern movie, but we don't talk about that.
But what movie I do want to talk about, I'm glad that everybody that I've talked to so far has really liked Shazam. Like I said, I thought this was going to be the movie that everybody really liked.
Yeah.
But it's not
This was
hard.
just-
It's just like when Wonder Woman was the best movie in the DCEU. It's like, it's not that hard to do.
Not quite
Yeah,
hard,
I mean,
not quite hard.
You know, but here's what I'll say. It is hard to do. It is hard to do to make a film that is this good. Because this is a good film. This is a really good film. This is a film that, honestly, here, I'm going to say it. I think this was better than Captain Marvel. And I totally loved Captain Marvel. That it was a great film. But Captain Marvel was another great film from Marvel. This is a game-changing film from DC. This establishes a new universe that all the good movies can be a part of.
Well,
And totally ignores all the bad stuff.
have they finally realized they don't have to be so dark?
Well, yeah, this was the whole thing. But it's really funny because New Line, before it was a part of Warner's, had the rights to a Shazam movie forever. And New Line is known for horror. And who did they get? They got a horror guy to direct it. And it is a little bit dark and scary in certain parts.
Oh, yeah. It's a creepy cave with demons in it.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the CGI was better than I expected, too. I was really blown away by that because, you know, that DCEU CGI has been very hit and miss.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, no one had a mustache this time. So.
Not even here. Tyler, can you hear us?
Yeah, Steppenwolf was terrible.
I
Let's
don't
just
know
be
what's going
real.
on my computer. I had to jump on my phone, so I don't know what's going on.
The old Charlie Esther standby.
Yeah.
Am
Well,
I
that
right?
wouldn't
Well,
work.
the Esther maneuver.
Yes.
But
Hey, it
Tyler-
works, man.
Tyler,
So,
what did you
As a
think? Of,
Superman fan, how did you like this, Tyler?
The movie in the whole, or I've missed everything we've discussed. So
We haven't discussed much.
Yeah.
I like Shazam. It was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was true to what's going on in the comic now.
When it's not delayed for 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah. We won't get into that yet, but I got my Shazam shirt on. But I know I jumped in here when you guys were talking about the statues. They were actually creepy. Like creepier than I would have thought, because like Solomon was freaked out and by the statues and come to life. And this is the kid who's asking me to take him to see the new Hellboy after watching the trailer. So like they were a little freakier than like I would have thought. Like when they first
Well, they did go
up,
full body horror with them.
when they did like just the statue and like the red eyes, that made me think of like Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters movie. Play on words, the original.
Because the real Ghostbusters is the cartoon.
Yeah. So you got it.
I did.
But I mean, other than that, like I enjoyed it. I think they made a good, solid superhero movie with a limited budget and pulled it off nicely.
How'd you feel about this
Well,
Superman cameo? They totally pulled a Supergirl.
Here's my thing with it. It was kind of neat. Had we not got, I don't know, like I liked it, but it's like, had we not gotten the whole, there's going to be a Superman cameo without Henry Cavill, and then it's this whole like, thing that blew up, and then the fact that his suit is different, like there's like outlining red in it, so it's not even, it's like, oh, hey, we took the same kind of suit that you've seen on film, but we made it a new suit.
No, I didn't even notice that.
Is it because
Yeah, we're getting a new Superman eventually, and
what I was gonna say is that because
from that.
Is it because Cavill's gone and we don't have a Superman right now?
Hey, do you know who was the person in the suit? It was actually Zach's stunt double.
Oh, really? I figured it was like a stunt guy or just somebody.
I mean, it makes sense
behind the
have
scenes.
Yeah, but it's just one of those, like, it's like they left it open enough to say, hey, if we decide we're going to continue on in a new direction. But at the same time, it's just like, was it just because Henry couldn't be there? Was it? I don't know.
Well,
it was.
Well, here's
it was cool.
What it is. They didn't want to box themselves into anything. So, for example, if for whatever reason they have a mending of the ways and Henry Cavill comes back, he fits right in. You don't have to change anything.
Well,
everything in this universe.
It's not even a mending of the ways with him. It's just they even said that they have no plans for Superman.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if he wants to do it or not. The studio has no plans. And
I'm surprised they didn't use Supergirl actually, since they're about to build her up in the cinematic universe.
Right. Like that would have been an even cooler cameo if it was just like the Supergirl body.
And do you see the skirt? Yeah, exactly. But no, I thought all that was really cool. I liked all the little Easter eggs.
Because I mean, it's full of like DC Easter eggs. I mean, you have the Batarang, you have the newspaper from the Black Zero, the newspaper for when Superman comes back to life. He even has the bullet.
Batarang.
Yeah. I would have preferred the like the scene that they put on the end that was lifted out of the movie. You could kind of tell.
Yeah.
If they would have just filmed it like Jason Momoa walked in or something and was just like, seriously, guys, like seriously, and then had him leave and had that be kind of the big cameo, where they're trying to talk to Fish or something like that. That would have been, I think, better.
Well, but they established, as Tristan pointed out, earlier on why they had Superman, because of course the kids make the point like, oh, and will Superman bring us dessert? So,
and also, he does have close ties to Superman. Like, there's a lot of great stories and moments with the character in Superman. So it's kind of
exactly, which is why I would want Superman. But the fact that they don't know what to do with Superman, they still put him in here, is like.
It gives me hope though, because they don't. Yeah, I think they're turning it around from that dark, gritty Man of Steel mess.
Yeah, what I really felt from this is that I felt Superman got the best treatment in this. I felt that Superman, and actually, really, Superman and Batman both sort of looked away from what has come before and established this universe where both Superman and Batman exist as superheroes, exist as ongoing concepts of good guys in the Justice League model, not the movie Justice League, but like what the Justice League is supposed to be. Because it's very much clear that this is an established superhero universe. That people know about superheroes, people buy superhero costumes. It's not like the superheroes are some dark, mysterious thing that we worry about and fear about. Superman is just a guy in Metropolis. And like hey, we just got our own superhero here in Philly. Isn't that great?
Captain Sparkle Hands.
Captain Sparkle, which I love.
He's going to need a public relations specialist for that name.
That was so a reference to Thor, I felt. When the Grandmaster keeps referring to him as Sparkles. It's like, I'm not Sparkles. It's the Crimson Cyclone, I thought was a good name. That was a good one.
Here's a reference just for Tyler. I don't understand that reference.
Yeah.
Hashtag Castillo.
But I mean, there were so many great things about this film. As I've said offline, the editing in this is fantastic. The what do you call it?
The photography is pretty good too, and the scoring.
Yeah. And then there's like all these little things. Like, okay, this is like my favorite thing in this film is that sorry, that's my wife. That they have this parallel between Savannah and Batson, where each person has this orb, this plastic circle in a solution that's sort of their guiding item. And for Billy, it is a compass, which is something that tells the truth. It points to north. It guides you to a true answer. Whereas for Savannah, it's a magic 8-ball, something that is just tells you what you want to hear, that's open for interpretation, that is not something that gives you any truth. And that each man has this icon that they carry with them. I think that both gives that parallel and shows the structure of their difference. Another thing that I just thought was so brilliant that they did was when we see Billy getting lost the first time, and then when you have his mother retell the story, and you do see how this is a child's remembering of what it is.
Yes.
Like so, and I, like this thing I noticed the first time, and it didn't strike me, is there's this big sign on the dart booth that says "Kids always win." When you see the dart booth later, it just says a prize every time, But clearly, his mind is remembering things. And then this was brilliant: was that the fact that he's been looking for his mother, but was looking for his mother under the wrong name. He was looking for Rachel Batson, and his mother's name was Marilyn Batson. And then she'd actually gone back to her maiden name anyway. Yeah, but then he actually even had the first name wrong, because at that point, how does he know? He might not have.
Mom's name is Mom. Damn it.
Exactly. But he built up this idea in his head of what happened, and was trying to figure out why he couldn't find her, and the actual reason why was because he was looking for the wrong person. But had he actually had her actual name, he might have already found her. But someone had to actually look deeper.
That mother was a scumbag. It's like if you don't want your child, fine, but put them up for adoption. Don't just like drop them at an amusement.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't drop them.
Well,
and
she was just like
she was a teenager.
That was so Joe Dirt, though.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I feel for her in the hard choices that she made. And I think, and here's what I'll tell you: I get the feeling that Billy kind of felt for her too. as mad as he was, I kind of, and this is again why he is, for as much of a front as he puts on throughout it, he is this guy who is pure of heart. As much as he just wants to run away when Freddy's getting, and by the way, this school has a horrible problem with bullying. Can we just like really talk about
the 2019, Charlie?
Yeah, no. This is like worse than Revenge of the Nerds style bullying. This is like 80s movie villainy, 80s movie bullying. I don't think that exists in modern kids' schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see it all the time put online.
I know.
But that's like a trope of that's like a trope of these like current DC movies, like the bully someone, and
everybody wants to be Flash Thompson,
and then their truck gets messed up.
Well, yeah,
Man of Steel.
Yeah. But that was two adults bullying each other too. So, but they actually like hit this kid, and it's like, really, there's not anyone there's no authority figure that's going to come out for this.
Well, there's like no other, like even like other kids are going to step up and be like, hey, the kid's on crutches, leave him alone.
You mind your business, first of all.
First off, this is school drop off. Where the heck is the crossing guard?
Being underpaid for drinking? What do you mean?
Or a teacher or something? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm just saying, every school I've ever been to, and it's not like this is like some crazy impoverished inner city school. This is clearly middle class Philadelphia school.
City of brotherly love.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. There are schools in Philadelphia that might be really trashy. This was not one of them. And every school I've ever been to, and my kids go to school in Newark. Let's not forget here.
Forget about it.
But there should have been like teachers and adults supervising the exit and entry of children, and basically it's a convenient plot point because it's convenient.
They had metal detectors at the door. You don't think there shouldn't be somebody standing right outside the door to make sure,
Yeah, but again,
going on.
This is the thing. It is an obvious glaring plot hole that did not ruin the film for me.
I don't even think
that is like, even see it, it's like, wow, this school has a real problem with bullying. But it doesn't pull me out, doesn't drag me out, make me go, oh, this is ruining the film for me. It just goes on because then we move on to the next important plot point. And that's what I mean about the pacing of this film.
I don't even see it as a plot hole because, there's bullying stuff that goes on in schools and teachers are powerless to do stuff. They have no authority anymore.
But you can't hit a kid with a truck and not have it be an incident.
You can call the cops on that, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not something that happened behind the bleachers. This isn't something where this was in front of the school hitting a child with a truck.
Yeah, but someone has to report it. And my thing is, like, since this movie has pulled so much from the New 52 by Jeff Johns, there's a whole part in there about their dad being rich and powerful and like nobody wants to upset these kids. And I was kind of wondering to see if that was where they were going to go with it, is that they have this, rich daddy that nobody wants to say anything to because he can cause problems for them.
Well, they must be the rich kids. They seem like they were the only ones driving the school.
Right. Like I said, did you guys all read the book?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, in that, like, they have the whole thing where the dad comes after the foster parents and everything.
Yeah.
So I kind of was thinking like that, like maybe that just because those bullies, nobody wants to say anything because of who they are.
You have to remember this script went through like 12 revisions and a reshoot. So some things might have got left in the editing floor. So
not all.
And not for nothing, I'm not trying to hold this up as a problem for the film because, like I said, it didn't cause a problem for me. And it's this great aspect of it that even though this should have been a problem for me in any other film, because yeah, sure, there's a reasonable explanation for why this is happening, but no one gives it. But we don't dwell on it. We establish this 80s level of bullying, and then we move on from it to going to meet Shazam. We get a nice action sequence that running. We get some great fun in there with the whole gang of the foster kids sort of surrounding their brother, and the Asian kid pulling out the nunchucks saying, "I know how to use these."
Squack.
Yeah, which clearly he didn't.
Oh, but Tyler, did you recognize the foster dad?
No.
Cooper Andrews from Walking Dead. Jerry?
Okay. He looked familiar, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Jerry
Hey,
from Walking Dead. That's why I said that dude is like typecast as like the nice guy now and everything.
this one's for Lilith. Did you recognize who played the adult versions of Freddy and was it you? Not Eugene. In the green.
Yeah, I recognized everybody.
That was
but do you know their significance?
No, what do you mean?
Well, that was Superman and the Flash from Justice League Mortal.
Oh yeah.
And then of course you have your Smallville callback with Adam Brody.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had there's your Superman and there was your Flash from we started to make a movie but never got to make it Justice League film.
Yeah, they had a good concept, but they wanted to move away from the no names and do something else. Unfortunately,
but you know what? And here's the thing: this is why this should have been DC's entry into the DC Extended Universe, because it's an obscure enough character that you can play with it and have fun with it and use it. I'm sorry.
I don't think that this movie would have done as well had it not been after so many unsuccessful attempts, though. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, only because I think they made a better film because of that learning curve.
Exactly.
I think if they had just made this film, if they had somehow made this film at the start, then this would have been their Iron Man. This would have been their introduction into the DC Cinematic Universe, and you would have had this idea that you have an established Justice League here, so that when Superman and Batman eventually come into it, they can be the old masters of the superhero game with Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and you can have it as the story of building out that second tier team to come to this moment when we finally get our big heroes. When Superman does show up and all that kind of stuff. That would have been brilliant. That's not what they did. But now they have that chance because they can integrate Wonder Woman into this universe and Aquaman into this universe. And they don't have to be beholden to the previous Justice League films and continuity.
Leave Aquaman out of it. Fight me, nerd.
Fight me, nerd.
Yeah. I'm kind of over Jason Momoa being Jason Momoa with wet hair constantly. So.
Wow. That is a change of tune. I don't know.
I mean, to look at, but like I said, I just didn't find the Aquaman performance compelling enough.
Okay, well, I mean that's fine. I mean, honestly, they don't have to keep any of it. But I think Jason Momoa made enough money that he gets to keep the suit if they keep on doing those.
Oh, absolutely. And I
appreciate
James Wan's Fast and Furious approach to a superhero movie because basically Fast and Furious is superhero cars. So
and quite frankly, much like Aquaman on Smallville, you can keep the guy and just put him to the side if you don't really want him to talk too much.
You're gonna leave our hot star alone.
Hey, I enjoyed the Smallville Justice League.
I just have to say I'm really happy that it has a 91 right now on Rotten Tomatoes from the critic score, and it's at a 90 with the audience. Like,
Shazam?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this film should do at least as well as Captain Marvel did. If it doesn't, I will be very disappointed.
Here's my thing. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes. And
a lot of people do apparently now.
And you know why? Because the critics on Rotten Tomatoes praised the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Well, that was an agenda thing. We all know what happened with that. I'm just saying.
Let the lady say that.
They also
fight me. I don't care.
Ant-Man, which
fight me, nerd.
Ant-Man was a pretty good film. I don't know.
Warner Media has stakes in it, but like let Man of Steel and all those movies sit at those ratings. So I'm just saying, I think it's some things have an agenda and other things don't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I go see a movie.
The only thing that actually matters is box office. You can be the most well-loved film in the world if you don't have a box office. No one cares. This will probably win against light competition. But I do think it could have a very strong run going into before Avengers comes and stomps on the entire movie.
At the time that they release it, because we get holiday hijinks. That's all I'm saying. Like, it was like Christmas. Come on, like we're
yeah. Well, you know what it is they needed to stick it somewhere.
This could have been a Christmas movie. They messed it up.
But then what are they going to put in? But for basically that would have, and not for nothing. We can all talk about how there's not really a rivalry. There is a business rivalry, and they really didn't want. Basically, they didn't want Disney having Captain Marvel, maybe Dumbo, and then and then Endgame with no challenge to it.
But here's the thing: when you think about it, Shazam is basically just Dumbo. They're both looking for their mother. They both have superpowers. I'm just saying.
Both fly.
Exactly.
Learning how to fly.
But I do see everyone's point. Like, it was a Christmas movie, so maybe they should have did this in December and saved Aquaman for now.
Exactly. I'm just saying, who does a superhero Christmas movie? That is like so super niche and would have caught on with the hipsters.
Well, hey,
you know what?
Iron Man 3. It's set at Christmas, and that came out in the spring.
Yeah.
Well, they love doing like that beginning of May all the time.
And you know why they really probably didn't want to do this as a Christmas movie? Because they really beat on Santa Claus in this movie. Santa Claus just comes off really poorly throughout the film. And that would be all the uprising at Christmas time. What's DC doing? Showing my kid Santa's a coward and this and that. And then swearing his toque off. Yeah. It's Santa catches fire. There's a lot of anti-Santa propaganda in this film. But yeah, I was kind of soft on the first half of this movie, but I really enjoyed the second half and the ending with spoilers, the whole family,
yes, Marvel family.
I mean, unless I was looking too deeply, I'm glad they kind of kept that a secret beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, toys. The only thing that kind of gave it away, but
toys sometimes can be misleading. No offense, you did not. You didn't get that the minute Shazam says, all of my brothers and sisters are gone and their thrones sit empty.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, before you walk in the theater, I'm glad they didn't give that away,
I'm just saying, they didn't have to do it in this movie, Charlie. Because that's something, if you think about it, I feel like with this movie, they gave you everything except Black Adam.
Which we won't ever talk about. That movie's dead.
Oh, you don't think they'll bring him in for a sequel?
They do give us the origin of Black Adam in this.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's not gonna be The Rock, and so.
I don't care if it's The Rock, but we're probably gonna get it.
That's the only reason why somebody would go see a Black Adam solo movie. Is all that I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the source material of the book that this is based on, that book gives you Black Adam, Savannah, and it gives you the Sins. This they gave you Savannah and the Sins, and they gave you the Marvel family instead of any kind of tease, setting it up for he can share the lightning. I mean, the only thing they did give us really was him sharing the lightning with his spirit avatar and Tawny coming out. We got teased,
which I loved.
I mean, we got teased with the tiger stuffed animal, the tiger on his uniform, the tiger on his backpack. So we know that he's connected to a tiger, but we didn't get any physical Tawny presence.
So it just hit me tonight. So not they really can't have their name. The rest of them can't even have their names either, because you can't really have a Mary Marvel and a Captain Marvel Jr. if he's not Captain Marvel.
You can have a Mary Marvel.
Yeah, I guess you could have Mary Marvel. It would just be where'd that name come from? Or it's again, I don't know if they want to be pointing fingers at saying, hey, look, we have competition, and I think
we know that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, whether or not I was actually waiting for them to call him Captain Thunder because there was a planned reboot of Captain Marvel, like in I want to say the 70s, where they're actually going to have an African American kid become that Billy Batson was black, and it was going to be Captain Thunder. So
to go with
they
Black
screwed
Lightning.
up. Yeah. Well, they never did it, but or if they did it, it just didn't get big. But I remember reading an article on it that they had. So I thought they might have called him Captain Thunder at some point. And they actually, they did have what was it, Captain Amerizap?
Ameris.
Was one of the names that they had when they wrote, because they have the list of all the names. They did have some.
You can't be
They did have
Captain
some names that
Lightning.
got a little close to some Marvel names. So.
Oh, that was funny. They testing all the powers. Like secret fire immunity test.
I just want to say that I think that the trailer didn't do the movie justice. Like,
No.
I think a lot of the older people, like when you see Shazam flossing, like a Fortnite character, you're like, I don't know.
Seriously, like all I kept seeing in that trailer was like, I'd like to buy some of your finest beer, please. Tim acting all Charlie Esser in the convenience store, and that was turning me off. Like I said,
Exactly.
that part of the movie, I was
kids to make them drag their parents to it. I think.
I guess, but
it was fulfilling the child wish.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
very with superpowers. We all know, although Shazam came first.
but like I said, it's like I really wasn't here for the first half. The second half, which they showed none of, I was well, they showed a little bit, like him jumping off the roof and yelling Shazam.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that image because that's like that again. That comic book image of that's actually from Dark Knight Returns, if I'm not mistaken. But that's like they're setting that image up, of the Batman thing there, and I just love that they are referencing some nice little Easter eggs throughout it.
Isn't it cute when Charlie tries to talk DC?
It is, and we're just all smiling at him, right? They don't bless his heart.
Oh, what?
There's this book called The Dark Knight Returns. Oh, yes, Charlie.
No. I'm just but that's the iconic image of it.
I know.
Jumping off the building, the lightning cracking. Trust me, if you really want the truth of it, they actually do that in Son of Ambush Bug with the interferer. That's actually literally how he gets his powers, and it is a Shazam reference. So technically, this is actually an Ambush Bug reference when they do that. I'm not a fancy man because the interferer basically said, and that they do the acronym of it. They do the Wisdom of Solomon, the Strength of Hercules, the Stamina of Atlas.
I can always flip Achilles and Atlas, but it's Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury.
Yes. I think it's the courage of Achilles and the speed of Mercury.
Yep.
The power of Zeus. Yep.
And then just him trying to learn how to fly. I just got Greatest American Hero vibes.
Yes, believe it or not. Okay.
Yes. So I was waiting for Freddie to tell him to just take 3 steps and jump. That's how the Greatest American Hero learned to fly. The little kid told him, you have to take 3 steps and jump.
But my thought, what do you guys think about changing of the origin about his mom being alive and just basically?
I was happy. I was like, everybody's parents can't be freaking dead, okay?
Yeah. At least they're gonna give him a tragic parent backstory. At least it's not that they're dead. Yeah.
But I like that the movie is really about family is what you make, not necessarily who you come from.
Right, and that's what I think is. I liked it because it showed that after that moment, Billy got to choose his family.
Exactly, it's very supernatural.
So I like that. It was different. So I was like, wow. The other thing is, Phil messaged me about this. I don't know if you guys talked about or said anything yet for my technical problems, but can John Glover just not make a DC villain child?
We did, but it wasn't on air, I don't think. But
he's like the evil dad. That's what Charlie said. He goes, if you want to make a bald supervillain in DC, I'd get John Glover for the dad.
Somebody get John Glover on the phone. That's exactly what they said.
Man has a type he plays, and the controlling evil dad is sort of his shtick,
But even then, he also created Poison Ivy and Bane.
I wiped that movie from my memory, but yeah, Batman and Robin, yeah.
And he was the Riddler.
He was the Riddler?
the voice of the Riddler on Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Dude just got a villain.
Well,
Man.
John Glover clearly has the history with the DC folks. They like him. He likes them.
And he was even a jerk in that Bill Murray movie. What was that? Scrooged.
Yep. Directed by Richard Donner. You know
who?
And it all comes full circle. Wait, this isn't an episode of Super Connectivity.
On that note, and
we also get Mark Strong.
I love Mark Strong. He's the best part of Green Lantern.
What movie?
Yep, exactly.
What movie? Deadpool wiped that from the timeline. What?
That movie where
I wiped that movie from the timeline. What are you talking about?
You know, where he was a bad guy and Aquaman's dad was an alien. You know, that movie that we all forgot about.
Boy, yeah. I just the only thing I know about Aquaman is that he takes advice from the Green Goblin. That is not going to end well for him.
Don't worry, the Green Goblin will get amnesia. It'll all go away.
Yeah, your amnesia. That's just such a great super. I was waiting for Sylvana to be like, no, I was possessed by evil spirits. I got the amnesia now.
Do we talk?
But clearly, this is a superhero. Like, this is a superhero universe that works. That when the villain says, "Oh no, I was possessed by evil spirits," they say, "Great, you still have to go to jail
with no toilet."
Yeah, his had a toilet. That's how you know this is a modern day
universe.
I look for the toilets. You know that.
Can we talk about Mr. Mind?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, you silly apes with your cave paintings. You think there's only one way to access magic.
For me, though, when I think of Mr. Mind, it's more of a Teen Titans thing.
Well, what I liked is the concept that with this is how magic is returning to the world. Like, magic had kind of been hidden and lost. So now magic is going to come into play and can actually affect the rest of the DC universe if they wanted to. But magic has returned.
Well, I mean, I took it to just let you know that Mr. Mind is just a real BA of a supervillain. That he is, like, really the most frightening. To me, Mr. Mind is the most frightening thing in this film. When he comes in at the end, and he scared me. And you can tell this is a worm totally in control of everything that's going on, with his little radio box to speak with. And that he is just so clearly in control. You know, maybe he's just talking a good game, but still, you can see that Savannah's totally listening to what he has to sell. And this is the Legion of Doom we deserved.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
Monster Society of Evil. It can happen.
But again, you also get the cliche of the villains, like, "Oh, I know who the hero is, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want anyone else getting to him." It's like he knows who the whole family is. He could
we don't even get that in this. We just get him being crazy in his cell, you know.
Yeah.
So, and for all we know, this is Arkham. You know, they could have just said, "Okay, evil demons."
No, it's
Arkham with you. You know. And for what it's worth, hey, at least he doesn't have to share this. He doesn't have a bunkmate, you know.
Not yet.
Not Lex, little baby Lex.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Homebody, yeah.
No, that you know, what's his face from Justice League or Batman v Superman.
Yeah. I know.
That film didn't. I don't think that film exists in this continuity. That's my point. It's like I don't think any of that exists. And you know what? For what it's worth,
Charlie, how can it not exist when he had the newspapers in his room of those events?
Well, all that it had was Death of Superman. Not.
It had the Black Zero. It had his return, which is Man of Steel and Justice League.
They could take what they want, but they could say.
No, all it says is that there's a Superman. He died at one point, and now he's back again. And that there's a Justice League and there's a Batman, and they sell toys. That is literally all you got. we also know that they have wonderful T-shirts because Freddy is wearing a Wonder Woman T-shirt at one point, a Aquaman T-shirt at the very end, of course, and a Superman T-shirt, respectively.
But right there, all those symbols are the ones correlated to those movies.
Yeah, but they're also just logos for the heroes. They don't have to. The point is that they don't have to.
But if I showed you the Superman Returns logo next to the Man of Steel logo, they're both Superman, but immediately you're going to identify two different versions of that character.
Well, I'm not. And neither is anyone else, Tyler. That's maybe my point in this, is that, that it's sort of like when they do that sort of thing in Aquaman, where they say, well, wait, that doesn't really fit in the continuity that was already established in Justice League. Because,
Which thing?
Because it's not in continuity with Justice League. That was different Aquaman in a different universe. And all that stuff.
Charlie?
What?
Which thing are you talking about?
The fact that in Aquaman he has not been to Atlantis yet, whereas in Justice League clearly he had been.
That's not
Atlantis. That clearly he has a relationship with Mara in Justice League that it does not exist when we get to the Aquaman film. But so that clearly there is a very different universe going on.
One, he didn't go to Atlantis in the Aquaman. He went to the outpost where they kept the box. Two, they reference it when she says you fought Steppenwolf in Aquaman.
Aquaman fought Steppenwolf.
And he doesn't have the. You know why he didn't have the relationship? Is because it was on the cutting room floor.
That's not our fault.
Tyler,
I get what you're trying to say.
There's plausible deniability that it is not in the same continuity. There's enough plausible deniability and intentional plausible deniability to say all that stuff that never happened.
Actually, there's not. There's more acceptance of it did happening than not happening.
Only to you, Tyler, because you want it to have happened. For everyone that doesn't want it to have happened, just like any other
thing
in comic
Iron Man 3 never happened.
It out.
Okay. Oh no! Hey! Good and bad. Marvel acknowledges everything. They even acknowledge Thor: The Dark World.
They haven't acknowledged Iron Man 3 because if you think about it, if Tony Stark beat Extremis, what was the point of Extremis? To repair soldiers. If he beat it and he fixed Pepper, wouldn't that be the technology you'd fix Rhodey with? Not give him robot legs? You'd actually repair his spine?
It was dangerous.
Well, he was a black guy. They didn't care. There, I said it.
And if your whole point was, I don't need my suits, but then as soon as you see him again, he's wearing his suit without any talk about, I got rid of my suit. So what you're telling me now is that Iron Man 3 is, I have plausible deniability to count that out of my continuity of an MCU
Sure,
film.
if you want to. I mean, that's actually kind of the point of it, Tyler. Is like, if you want to.
I'll tell you, because he's Tony Stark, and he changes his mind at the drop of a hat.
They actually reference that in Shazam when they discuss, and one of the things I love about it is Freddy sort of talking deep dive, how do powers work, the superhero syndrome of powers becoming addictive like a drug. And so, right there is why Tony's back in his armor, because it's addictive like a drug, and he can't quit it. He might be able to walk away from alcohol, but he can't walk away from superpowers.
Yes, he does have an addictive personality.
That's all in your.
He's the captain of bad life decisions, as I've always said.
Take that from another captain of bad life decisions.
Either way, the real point of it is, Tyler.
No he has an addictive personality. He isn't a recovering alcoholic.
Right.
Yeah. Well, actually, not.
But
not in the
you're acknowledging that he chose to go back in without having it in your film.
My only problem with Iron Man was, like, if he could get a surgery to take that arc reactor out of his chest, why didn't he do that by the end of the first movie or the second movie when it was killing him?
Fear.
That's my problem.
You're just saying that you have the right to pick if it connects or it doesn't. But I'm saying there's more evidence that Aquaman exists than there isn't. But if you want to say it doesn't...
Well, let me put it to you this way, Tyler. Specifically, Warner's has said, these films, we are moving towards standalone films. If we decide to connect them later, that's something we might decide to do. which means that you should look at this film as completely separated out from everything that has come before it. And
Okay,
because
so-
of that, the fact that it's referencing characters suggests that these characters have their own existence within this universe, not tied to the awful universes that we've been subjected to prior to this. And if there was not a large movement of people who said, we did not like what you did, then they would be doing, yes, let's stick with these things. But because there is a large segment of the population that says what you did was bad and you should feel bad, there is this counter idea that, well, you know what, we don't actually have to acknowledge it or reference it, and we can actually look at our films and try to make new good films on our own without having to tie them to these abominations that we had previously made. If you really want to be rude about it.
Hey, Lilith, how you doing?
I mean, I get what
I'm
you're saying,
enjoying it.
but everything's about branding. If you look at it, everything's about branding. And if you're going to use the same symbols of characters you're trying to tell me that don't exist in incarnations, then you need to do a better job of it.
No, I mean, the brand exists. The brand is Batman. The brand is Superman. The brand is actually Batman the animated series, because that's the Batman we saw.
The branding is the symbol. Every Superman has his own symbol. Every Batman's
Yes,
had his own
we
bat.
saw at least a dozen different Superman symbols in this film.
So what I'm saying, but they're all the same base.
No,
symbol.
the Superman costumes in the store were more traditional.
Right. The toys, the merchandise that they use is different. But as far as like Freddy's shirts and everything, those are the exact shirts that you can buy on DC Warner Brothers website.
But you yourself said that when Superman walks in, it's not the same uniform.
But it's still the same symbol. It still has the Joseph Campbell quote in it, and it's still the Snyder symbol. It's the suit with added to it. But like I said, if you look at Dean Cain's Superman symbol compared to Chris Reeves or George Reeve, it's all altered. You look at Brandon Routh, it's different because it's all about branding that particular version of the character. So if you want to start over, you should have introduced a different symbol.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they don't necessarily. What they want to do is a soft reboot. They want to say anything that works, we want to keep, and anything we want to be able to have plausible deniability on, we want to have plausible deniability on. And so that's what they're doing. And I think they have perfect plausible deniability right now to say, you know what, a lot of that stuff, that was just one universe's version of it. And what we're going to go forward now with our new Batman and our new Superman will be in continuity with this and then our prequel Wonder Woman films. And we'll probably be in continuity with the Aquaman film because people liked Aquaman, you know. And because all we have established is that a Justice League exists. They at one point have fought Steppenwolf. Superman has died and come back from the dead. And Batman is still a delightful character that children can aspire to. There's not a crazy. That's your biggest thing, is that no one in this is saying, well, we really don't want our child to be playing with Batman toys. After all, he's branding people and murdering people.
Why'd you say that name?
Clearly, everyone in this universe thinks Batman's just a cool guy, just like a bat. Batarangs. You know, that is people's attitude for Batman in this universe.
So moving on.
So anyway,
More positivity.
I got you.
Because this is a good movie. Finally.
Yes, very much so.
I love the I thought all the casting was good, but especially like, what was the little girl's name? Darla.
So what you're saying is they're Doom Patrol.
And again, a universe with an established Justice League that does not have to be the Justice League that has been established in these movies. And probably isn't, because it's a completely different cyborg.
Doom Patrol, die!
Phil, what you got going on over there?
Well, as I was saying, I liked all the casting, but especially, what was the little girl's name? Darla?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was great.
It's finally figured it out.
Yeah.
But I even like who they cast as the adult version. I even bought Ina. what the adult
Yeah.
version. She was just like, you know, she saved Santa. Hey, I've been really, really
I can
good.
hear Charlie.
Yeah, honestly, they were really. That's one of the things I felt that the kids' dialogues in this was very realistic.
Yes.
It sounded like this is. At no point did any of these kids seem like, you know, maybe they were wittier versions of children I know.
Like it wasn't a middle-aged man writing the dialogue.
It didn't seem. I mean, it was, but it
It
didn't.
probably was,
seem
but
like
it didn't seem like it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, Pedro's my favorite. I will say that. He doesn't have a lot of lines, but also I love that actor. He
Vote for Pedro.
he's been in a few things that I've seen, and I really like him. I want to say he. What was he? Was he in? Oh, I can't remember the sitcom that he was. He was actually a bully in a sitcom that something with a fonts club. But yeah, I think it's the same actor. I could be mistaken, but I really like Pedro. Also, Ample American character who got all swole. It was great, and you know, and all these characters together were really good, and you know, it just really struck. And then of course the big battle with Envy is amazing, especially how they draw out Envy.
The runt.
The runt, yeah, don't let little, because nobody likes Envy, and it's just so. And I agree. I really thought Lust would be hotter. I'm not quite sure which one was Lust. If Lust was the one with the fingers, or if Lust was the one with the tongue. I wasn't quite sure which one was Lust. I know that the one with the very long fingers was fighting Mary Marvel. So take from that as you will. But
yeah, I love that whole scene at the end at that carnival or whatever.
Carnivore?
Carnival or whatever, or the fair, or whatever.
Got him.
Listen, Florida, keep your mouth shut.
I wonder if the Philadelphia Festival is an actual festival in Philadelphia.
Somebody get Philadelphia on the phone.
Yeah, I hope so. I'd love to go to that. That looked like fun.
It did.
You know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Philadelphia has, like, you know, little carnivals that come to town or not. It doesn't seem like it would have space for it because it is like a metropolis kind of place. But I thought it looked fun, and
I mean, as long as they have a big enough lot, because I mean, they do a small one around here, and it's just like in the parking lot of like a fire, you know, fire hall.
Yeah, but you know, usually most cities don't have big parking lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like usually when you get out to the suburbs, you'll have a big parking lot, but this was clearly in Philadelphia proper. So
This is like a park or something, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a possibility. You know, maybe they're on some kind of great lawn, and clearly they were going down an alley, and they came out there. And I loved Darla's line about it. They have glitter in there. I want glitter.
Oh, the Gentleman's Club, yes.
The glitter that never comes off.
Really, love?
Oh, why would you want it to?
If you're married or in a relationship and ain't told your girl, that's why you want the glitter.
I'm gonna say, if married men go home, I don't want to.
Your girl, that's your problem, not the glitter. You gotta have a relationship that you can communicate about what you're doing. If you're doing something your girlfriend wouldn't like you to do, you shouldn't be doing that, or you should talk to your girlfriend about why you're doing it. You know, that's the thing. You gotta have an open communication in your relationship if you're gonna have a relationship.
I know.
Not open.
Like, why did you take me with you?
Well, yeah, not for nothing. You never know until you start talking about it. If that's something you want to do, then, and you got a girl, then you should talk to her, like, hey, I'd like to do this, and you guys will work it out because that's what you do in a relationship.
No.
No.
That was funny. That, like, you know, it's like, you know, picture us anywhere but here, and that's where they land, is that Gentleman's Club.
Yes, well, not for nothing, he is a 14-year-old boy.
True.
You know, like anywhere is like, and not for nothing, that's kind of like the thing of, like, you know, don't think about it, and you know,
don't think of pink elephants. That's all you think about. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and that was good. And again, like I said, they played with everything nicely. I also kind of like the fact that kind of Shazam is desperate when Billy gets the powers. You kind of get the feeling that maybe Shazam was a lot more discriminating before that time. Although clearly that spell was just bad that it picked Thaddeus, because clearly Thaddeus was not the right choice.
And then it kept looking for 40 some years and still didn't. By the time I got to Billy back, and he's like, "I'm desperate."
Yeah, well, by that time, the villains have already escaped, and there's like not even anything left to tempt them with.
Shades of Kyle Rayner. You'll have to do. Here's a ring.
Yeah. Not for nothing, It's like, I'm dying. It's sort of like when Yoda says, "You're a Jedi now, Luke." Sure. Totally a Jedi. I'm going to the next plane of existence. You guys work it out. Go face your father, then you'll be a Jedi. That'll work.
Oh, that was a good part when Billy transferred, the lightning to the rest of the kids, and he's like, "All right, grab the staff and say my name, Billy." He's like, "No, the word I say."
Yes, but of course, Captain Marvel Jr. does say Captain Marvel to become Captain Marvel Jr.
I know.
Actually, it could have worked.
You know what? They should have just. I think he's disqualified. Can't follow directions.
Yeah.
Hold my staff.
Yes, there is a dirty joke behind old man saying, "Hold my staff and say my name."
I love the 10-year-olds like, "Hey, remember the dirty joke in the movie?"
That's messed up.
We can discuss it later.
Ask your mother.
Dad,
Yeah. It references the idea that an old man asking a young man to hold his staff references that the old man may be a pedophile and asking him to touch his penis.
The genitalia.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of people in a sexual relationship like to have their names said by the person that they're having sex with.
I got naked. I showed my dog.
Education with Charlie today.
Well, hey, again, if you're not willing to have these conversations when your kid asks you a question, you are not doing it right.
But what about all the people that's listening to us whose children aren't, at the point where they're ready for that conversation?
Well, you should be listening.
They are not.
Yes. And I use the technical terms. Your children should know what a penis is and should know to be mindful of pedophiles.
Yeah.
It's true.
They should know that when an old man asks you to touch their staff and say their name, they should be suspicious. If you don't raise your child to be suspicious of that, you're doing it wrong.
You're gonna get us canceled.
Lois fixes everything.
Do you want to be the next Heroes by the Pipe? Shut your mouth.
Right, yeah.
So what else did we get in this movie besides the staff jokes? Like I said, Cooper Andrews from Walking Dead was good as the foster dad.
Oh, I'm hoping he eventually becomes Uncle Marvel.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't know if they have Uncle Marvel in the new continuity, but that guy should be Uncle Marvel.
Yeah, that guy. I love that guy.
And you can even have the Aunt Marvel because he's got his wife there, so that's good. And Uncle Marvel again was an ample American, and so is this guy. So.
Yeah, but you can't say Marvel though. Until I'm saying they need a name that he can actually say without transforming. Lilith, Lilith, he needs a name.
Lilith will fix it because Lilith fixes everything. You know what? I
don't know.
I don't know what the actual rules are on being able to call him Captain Marvel. I don't know.
Like I said, they might be able to, but do you really want to point to the competition, especially when the Captain Marvel movie came out 2 weeks ago or something?
I agree with
Well, you know what? Well, actually, not for nothing, they can just have them all be Shazam. Because they do say Shazam. People are hearing them say Shazam.
But again, none of them can say their own name then.
No, but if other people know that their name is Shazam, it's like, fine.
Here's a business card. I can't tell you my name, but here's my business card.
No, it's not like you have to always walk into the room and say, my name is Shazam. You can just say, "I'm here to help."
Yeah, and then they're like, "Who are you?"
That's what press releases are for.
But
I mean,
isn't
yes,
it?
Superman
You have to
does
say
this looks like a job for Superman, but that doesn't mean. But he really just means this looks like a job for me.
So they can have a press conference and
But
say, "Okay,
doesn't
this
it,
is
like, you have to
this is
say
the Shazam
Shazam
family,"
with
but never
intent
ask them their name.
to transform. Like he says it, say my name with like meaning or intent, or maybe that was in one of the books I read.
No, that's actually in this run where they do actually say that just saying Shazam without the intention to transform won't transform you. They actually, because that came up, and Brian Cronin did a bit on that recently, and as part of his Explaining Shazam series.
That's what the song they should have played. Lilith, what was that Destiny's Child? Say my name.
It was.
I'm surprised they didn't. See, at least Captain Marvel used the soundtrack.
That's 90s spectacular.
Yeah.
Yes. Had a Ramones song. I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
And Tristan said that was his favorite end credit sequence.
Nice.
It was cool. It
was good. It did catch the kids' attention because Luke was like, "Oh, I'm ready to leave." And I was like, "Look at that." He's like, "Oh."
And again, creates this established superheroic universe with Aquaman and Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Alfred even, which not quite sure how that was.
Get it?
Alfred. What?
Young Alfred. The prequel.
They did have Alfred when Batman's putting on his girdle, remember? And Shazam steals the Batmobile.
Shut your mouth.
Yes. But you saw that Batman has the girdle.
But yeah, Lilith mentioned the young Alfred show coming out. Stay tuned for our coverage of the premiere, which will be on
before the bat.
Way before the bat.
This is fun.
I think it's an idea for a TV show.
You can't do James Bond, but you want to do James Bond.
What are they gonna do next? The utility belt?
The utility belt.
Teen Titans Go.
Alfred the movie. Yes. Well,
the car.
I want to know what they're gonna do with Alfred. I'm curious to see how they take on it. You know. Is he MI6? Is he MI12? Is he just an actor who tells everyone he's an MI6?
It's supposed to be a spy thriller, so I'm assuming he really is going to be a secret agent.
Very good.
And we're going to learn the secret truth that Alfred was Bruce's father all along.
You just want to die on that hill, don't you?
I want to die on that hill until they make it.
Oh no! What we're gonna find out is that actually the Graysons were actually traveling the country as a secret spy network and traveled the world, and they're actually going to be constantly going back and forth with Graysons.
Well, they were gonna weren't they gonna do a Grayson movie many years ago?
No,
everyone knows that circuses are the best cover. That's why That's why comic book universes are like 90% circus-based economies. Because circuses just go everywhere and
just as Johnny
do whatever they want. No one questions the circus.
Okay, Ringmaster.
This is a carnival.
Yeah.
Whole podcast.
All right, we're about at an hour. So, any final thoughts? Anybody on this movie?
It was good. Go see it if you haven't seen it. Flat out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go see it.
It's the best movie DC has done so far.
Go see it before Endgame wipes it off the map.
That's what you remember. Don't
Go
go
see it before you're forced to see a Batman quadrilogy.
What?
Nobody asked for the Batman quadrilogy.
Oh yeah, that's coming back to theaters. Yeah, they.
When I said get Joel Schumacher on the phone, I was just kidding. I didn't really mean I wanted to see the bat nipples. I really didn't.
Go see
I put it into the ether and it happened. Why can't that happen with a lottery ticket?
I was gonna say go see the first two, but you could go see Batman and Robin and see what Tyler referenced John Glover in there.
Yeah.
Creating Poison Ivy.
Watch that on YouTube. You ain't got to sit through the whole movie for that.
So John Glover's been Lionel Luthor. He's Old Man Savannah, and he is Jason Woodrow. Holy crap.
Yeah, well.
You could put a whole Legion of Doom just with John Glover's.
Oh.
Don't take that, internet. That's all me. The Legion of Glovers.
The Council of Glovers?
I'll have to tweet that.
Okay. Are we done here yet, or do we have still more to do?
Let's do it.
I think we're done. All right, everyone. Send your thoughts in on Shazam, and stay tuned next week, episode 100. Some of us will be in the room together.
I'll be there.
And some of us will be drunk in Florida.
Brock will be there.
Moz is coming, definitely?
Oh, yeah. He zelled me his share for the hotel room today, so.
And Tyler, you going to be in town? Can he hear me?
No, he said that a while ago.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Maybe he's just mad at me and doesn't want to. I was going to come until Charlie was going to be there.
Well, if you enjoyed this cantankerous discussion, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, facebook.com /capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter, and the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. But yeah, next week, check it out, Capes and Lunatics 100. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, because if we hit 100 subscribers by episode 100, we're giving away a prize pack. And then we might have something special for episode 101. But then 102, you know what 102 is, right, Charlie?
Feels like he's talking a good game.
Endgame!
Oh, Endgame! Oh, yay!
102 will be Endgame. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we'll see if Lil shows up.
I'm sure that's going to be a very good film.
Yes, excellent. But anyway, Lil Hellfire, where can people talk to you about the DC universe?
If you nerds want to hit me up on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter @LilHellfire. I'm over on the gram @LilHellfire86. If you want to talk good DC stuff like Superman and Smallville, or maybe even Deadpool and Spider-Man, @SaveMePod on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and/or Instagram.
All right, Charlie Esser, hit him.
And I'm Tyler.
Way. Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Well, let me.
Yeah, I can't hear Phil, so I'm just kind of.
Yeah, tell Tyler to go.
I'm Tyler. You can find me on the Krypton report page, and yeah, all my links there.
All right, Professor, hit him with your best shot.
If you would like to write me in that old-fashioned email way, like John Glover did in 1974, he's driving down the road.
His magic 8-ball.
With his magic 8-ball. You can do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cloak and Dagger, The Orville, The Tick, which I don't really live tweet because it's wherever I want to watch it, but it's a good show. Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser, with the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing. All right, so yes, that has been Shazam. Join us next time, episode 100, triple digits.
You're welcome, Phil.
Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. All right, then, for another week, we have been the Capes.
Ampersand.
The Lunatics.
Yay, Lilith.
That's us. It'll be so much better when we're all in the same room.
Except for Lilith.
Yeah.
Oh, Lilith won't be there. Oh. Well, Lilith, it's a long drive from Philadelphia or from Florida or wherever she is now. Florida? I don't know. All I know, you're in South Dakota at this point.
He's down in Florida doing Florida things.
I'm secretly Florida woman. There, I revealed my identity.
Shucks.
Florida woman fights nerds.
Damn straight.
Shazam!